Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back. This is Griffin GFX and you're watching part 2 of how to make a Trap Nation styled logo for yourself. Let's get back into it. Right, so now we have our text all done. This is where we're going to start turning it into a proper logo and you're going to start to see Trap Nation coming into your logo. It should come to life here. So we have a lot of layers that we built this up on and we don't really want any of those. But at the same time, they might be of use later for you. So if you just chuck them all into like a group and then just hide that group, then you have a nice and clean looking Photoshop. So we're going to make this a little bit smaller. And we're going to make two types of circles, because as you can see with the Trap Nation, there's this one that sort of starts off around here. This little bit here, very thin. And as you get up towards the top, the line's a lot thicker. So we're going to be making one like that. And we're going to be making one solid circle because that's how their newer logos are. So if we just hide this layer, how I think the best way to make the split up circle is to have one like this. So you want to make a circle, rasterize it, and then if you press Control and the letter J, then you duplicate the layer. And then when you're on the layer on top, so the one that overwrites this one, you want to right click, blending options, and just change the colour. Just like a red is fine. And then when you drag down, you get that sort of split off effect that the Trap Nation one had. And theirs was actually slightly this direction. But we can change that afterwards, so we'll just go straight down. Oh, we need to get that locked in. And maybe even a little bit smaller so that it doesn't pull away from the shape. So something like that, and then all we want to do is keep the white bit. So you rasterize this red one, you click on the red one, so this is now selected, this red layer. And then if you go to the white one underneath and press delete, you've sliced this part out. So you're now left with effectively this top part. And I don't know why, but we're getting... For some reason we're getting a line around it. Three blending options, color overlay. And set it to white. Yeah, not sure what that was about, but it's fixed now. If you have that same problem, maybe something I did created that, then just fill the whole thing in white. There you go. So now we're going to pull our text back in like this, and we're going to swivel it. Well, firstly, actually, we're going to Control J to duplicate this. Now you have two. Transform, edit, transform, and flip vertical. Now you have a second one, and this is where we need to split them off slightly. So actually, we're going to delete that. And sorry, we're going to delete that one, and we're going to start up here. I'm just going to cut through this part here. So if you start up there and then come down to about there, you can just cut that off. Just like that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this half. So we're just left with this side. I'm going to duplicate it. Duplicate and edit and transform horizontal. So we've got this back. This might be a little bit hard to follow because I'm sort of, as I'm doing it, I'm working out what we need to do. Just trial and error. Merge those layers and do the same, edit, transform, duplicate. And then edit, transform, and flip vertical, so you have it down here. and they have it somewhat like that, I believe. So we're just going to merge that together, and we're going to swivel it around slightly. Something like this. And how tight is it? So there, the circle is quite tight around the. And there seems to be a little bit more flat. If we drew a perfect circle, I don't know. Oh no, it has seemed to have kept the circle. My bad. So if we make another circle ourselves, make sure that we're keeping our circle, because for some reason it looks a little bit chubby. And that's because it is. So we want to lift this layer. Just selecting the bottom part, because that's what I need to move up. I'm just going to connect it up and in like this. Now I'm selecting the text on the inside just to position it perfectly. They've got theirs quite large on the inside, so maybe the Y should be like touching. Somewhat like that. And now the only thing that I've run... Okay, so this is where... Right. Their lip bit here is quite different to how I thought it was. It comes down a lot lower. So that is fine. We can maybe start... This is where you just need to sort of chop it yourself, wherever looks good on your text. But I think if I have mine sort of cutting off about there... And if I just remove that. And then is it the same over there? So you have that line that would maybe go up to about here. Oh wait, it needs to go to there, my bad. So now the shape's starting to come together. And they have this city which really sort of stops the line just looking like it's a border and turns it into something. So we can definitely do something like that. But if we just use their simple trick of just putting some circles in. You know, some like doop, doop. Alright, so those aren't that big. So really guys, this is all I'm doing is sort of teaching you the best way of experimenting with the logo, some ideas that I found when making this. This is all down to whatever you guys think looks good. And then once we have that, we'll merge that all together. I'm going to open something so that I can have a nice backdrop. So if you want to get like a scenery picture, then if you just type in like scenery photography, go to Google Images, and then so that you can use it for personal use, if you press search tools, usage rights, and then labeled for reuse, you get all the pictures that are completely fine for you to use. So something like this is sort of quite Trap Nation-y style. And then the other thing you can do is if you go to size and select large, you'll only get high quality images, but we can see this one's very high quality. Absolutely massively high quality, in fact. And something else that Trap Nation does is they always have their image split. So if we hide all the layers and then draw with this marker, we can find the exact middle. And then they like their work to be sort of mirrored. Like that. But theirs are a lot more mellow, so you can see it easier to get it to really pop out. So for the tutorial we do something like that. Blur it slightly. You can see that the logo is starting to come together now. Trap Nation's logo used to have a black inside to it. So if we save this as something, then we can edit it. So I'm going to go to underneath all the layers, I'm going to draw out a circle and just put it inside of the shape that we've got. And then it's just a matter of playing around to get it to fit the right shape. Something like that is quite like what Trap Nation's logo looks like. And then it should be quite easy for you guys to, if I get rid of that, right, it should be quite easy for you guys to put anything here in the background that you might want. So let's say you weren't feeling these bubbles and you wanted something else. If we take something from something that they use, not logo, because they have lots of other, so we have the Rap Nation with this little crown. So let's go for the crown. It's a very, very simple crown, which I think looks really cool. Something like that. So you guys can use whatever represents your channel. Give us something personal. Don't use the crown. Think of something that will suit your YouTube channel. But in short, that would be how you would make a Trap Nation logo, from the scripty text to the circled outlines. We actually merge all this. Ooh, that's gone weird. You can see how similar it is. I think what is making, in my opinion, what's making the Trap Nation one really stand out as a good logo is the thickness of the text layering. So the Trap and the Nation really does fill up the whole circle in a very gridded way. And you'll find that if you have a nice name with strong letters, then yours will look like that. But with something like this, you're gonna have it's gonna be a lot more curvy. And you might not get the same effect. So just play around with that, watch tutorials on like lettering, and you should be able to get something very similar to this. And make sure, if you're going to be using this as a real logo for your like channel, whatever, then do make it your own, do change stuff. Don't just make one that looks just like Trap Nations, because everyone's going to think that it literally is just a knockoff of Trap Nations. Interpret their style and make your own logos and send them to me. Just type in my comment section and I'll obviously be able to see what your logo is, and it'd be cool to see what you guys make out of this. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial on how to make Nation music logos for yourself. Share this with your friends, like the video if it helped you, and I'll see you again next time, guys. Peace out.